Now, you'll want to remember that you don't want to completely pull these lug nuts off so that when you end up lifting the car, the tire doesn't fall off and roll away, because when these things get rolling downhill, they will roll. Now, when you are actually pulling off your lug nuts, you want to make sure you do not touch any of these brake components, because they get very, very, very hot and you will burn yourself. Trust me, I've done it. It's not much fun and it hurts a lot. Now, after you've loosened up this or all of these lug nuts, you want to jack up the car just to where the tire is barely off of the ground. You can go higher. It'll make getting the tire back on easier because you can have more of your body weight supporting it, but that's pretty decent off the ground. Now, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to grab my wrench. I'm going to pull this off. Now you see how this tire spins? If you were to jack up the car before you loosen these lug nuts, the tire would just spin while you try to loosen it. Now while we do this, you want to make sure that you do not get your hands anywhere under the tire or under any part that could fall when the tire gets off, because these cars are pretty heavy. You do not want to do it. Now I'm going to loosen up these lug nuts completely off. It's easiest to do it off with the wrench just because it's deep and you can spin it. It doesn't matter the pattern you take it off on. We're going to get these off real quick. I'm going to get these off. And this is important to me. Changing tires is important to me because I've personally had an experience where my trailer tire blew up on a trip back home. And I really did not know how to change a tire then. So it was definitely a different experience for me, and I felt very hopeless. Now, if the tire starts to come up a little bit while you're pulling these off, this last one off, just hold it down while you spin, and it'll come off. All of these lug nuts you want to keep in a safe spot so that you do not lose them, because most spare tires do not come with extra lug nuts. So now you pull the tire off, if this was flat of course. So you're going to pull the tire off. You're going to roll it away from you. Now, some radial tires can have metal inside of them and will stab you. So don't try to grab it too much because it hurts a lot. Remember, this is the brake components. You do not want to touch any of this because you will be burnt. Now, if you actually had a flat tire on the road, you would obviously use the spare, but for this demonstration, I'm just going to put this tire back on. So now, you're going to roll the tire close, and you're just going to lift it up onto these little studs. You see these studs? You're going to line up these holes